In today's video, I'm back with another fragrance haul. If you're interested in seeing the new fragrances that I added to my collection, then just keep watching. Before we get into the video, I do want to quickly introduce myself for those of you who may be new here. My name is Aisha. I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So as I said, this is a fragrance haul. However, unlike some of my hauls, I have worn almost every fragrance that I'm going to talk to you about today. I've tried to wear them all at least once. There are a couple that I have not worn, and I'll get into why when we talk about those fragrances. But I just did it like that this time because I was too impatient to wait for this video before I opened my packages. So most of these were picked up during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, week, month, whatever. So I just found some great deals and picked them up. This will be my last fragrance haul for the year. Not saying this is the last fragrance that I'm buying for the year because I'm still holding out for that new Tom Ford cherry fragrance to come out. So when that comes out, I'm getting it, y'all. I'm already decided I'm getting it. So other than that though, I don't have any fragrances that I plan on picking up for the rest of this year. And I am trying to go on a no buy for January, so we shall see. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these fragrances. So we're actually going to start with my scent of the day, and this is a popular but controversial fragrance. So the fragrance I'm talking about is Rosendo Mathieu No. 5. So this is Floral Amber Sensual Musk. That's what's on the bottle. So this fragrance I have heard people talk about for well over a year. I feel like last year it got really popular, and then people kind of stopped talking about it, but there's been a resurgence over the past month or so, and I came across this for a pretty good price. I purchased this on fragrancebuy.ca, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I saw it pop up on there for a pretty good price, and it was kind of already on my list of things I wanted to smell, so I picked it up. So I really like this, but it is complex and it is hard for me to explain. I mean, I know it says Floral Amber Sensual Musk on the bottle, but for me, I don't really get florals. To me, this is more of a musky amber scent that smells kind of animalic in a way, like maybe the musk is slightly animalic. It smells a little bit leathery, a little bit suede-y. Some people do complain that this gives off a rubbery smell in the opening, and I can see where they're coming from, but thankfully it doesn't bother me. It does kind of give off that burnt tire smell like as soon as I spray it, but not in an offensive way in my opinion, but I can definitely see what people are saying. But on my skin, that goes away pretty quickly. And when I say pretty quickly, I mean like a minute. And then I just get this beautiful musky fragrance. Now, this is only my second time wearing this fragrance, so I don't have a full review or anything. These are just pretty much all first impressions, but so far so good. I'm loving the way this smells, and it just smells so unique and complex. I think the person that pushed me over to get this fragrance is the Eva Fett. If you're not following her, you should be. If you like fragrance, she's someone that I find quite entertaining, and I find that she has really good taste in fragrances. So definitely check her out. I will link her channel down below. But she said that she was wearing this one time, and this guy like chased her down out of the grocery store, asked her what she was wearing, and bought the fragrance on the spot while he was talking to her. Which I thought is like one of the best compliments you can get. I mean, it could be a little scary when somebody's chasing you down, but when they ask about your fragrance, you're like, oh, that's why you're chasing me down. So when she said that, I felt like I needed it. But anyway, I am loving this so far, and I get the hype, y'all. I do. So again, that is Rosendo Mathieu No. 5. The rest of these will be in no particular order. We're just grabbing out of a box of fragrances. So next up is Iris Malacon from Maison Crivelli. So again, this fragrance I have heard talked about a lot. And I think Demi Rawling mentioned this in a video, and I feel like whenever she mentions something, people go out and buy it. But anyway, I purchased this fragrance because, again, I came across it for a really good price. Actually, I think this and Rosendo Mathieu No. 5 might have been the same order because this was a really good price, and I know I got this one for Fragrance Buy as well. But I don't know how I feel about this one, to be completely honest. I've heard a lot of people talk about this, so I kind of expected it to be more likable, but I feel like this is a pretty complex scent. So it has iris in the name, so you would assume there's iris in there, but if you're thinking this is a beautiful, like feminine, fluffy, powdery iris, it is not that. Iris is in here. I can definitely smell that kind of powdery iris, but it's not done in that feminine sweet way. This is combined with some very, I don't want to say deep, but very woody notes, almost like fresh woody, like a cedar or like a very fresh sandalwood, not that creamy type of sandalwood. I like it. I don't know if I love it or not. I've only worn it one time, and I will say that once I actually sprayed it on my skin, I definitely enjoyed it more than smelling it on paper. But I still don't know if it's a love for me. This is one that I want to wear and play around with. I'm thinking this is going to be really good for colder weather, and we haven't really had many cold days yet, so I feel like I'm not really in the best position to judge it, but it is interesting. I am glad to have it in my collection, and I definitely want to play around more with it. If any of you all have tried this fragrance, let me know what you think of it. I think Karina Waldron has also mentioned this as well, which honestly surprises me because I feel like she likes very feminine scents, and this does not smell very feminine to me at all. This definitely smells unisex, maybe even leaning slightly masculine, which I'm okay with. If you know my taste, you know I like some scents that lean a little bit masculine, so I'm okay with that, but it's good. I just don't know if it's me per se. So again, that is Iris Malikhan from Maison Crivelli. This next fragrance has been on my wish list for probably like 2 years. And one thing I want to mention is basically most of this haul is stuff that has been on my wish list or my to smell list. I have like a running list that I keep in my phone, and I have no rhyme or reason as to why I will go for something on that list as opposed to something else on the list. I don't know. I don't know why some items have been sitting on my wish list for years, but then I'll go buy a fragrance that I just heard about like yesterday. So anyway, I do feel good about this haul that I actually bought a lot of things that I've been wanting to try or smell for a long time. Most of these were blind buys. Actually, all of them were blind buys, so there's that. So anyway, this next fragrance is Mancera Amber Fever. So this fragrance is an amber scent, but it's kind of that sweet, sugary, airy type amber. I do know that this fragrance gets compared to Baccarat Rouge 540. I do not think they smell alike, but I know that is a comparison that's out there. But I think what's similar in the two fragrances is that they both have that very airy feeling that I find is a little bit hard to describe. But anyway, this fragrance has that sweet amber, and then it also has like some citrusy notes to it that I'm picking up that gives it this brightness. So although this fragrance is sweet, because it's airy and bright, I feel like this will be a great year-round scent. I've only worn this one time, but I have to say I really enjoy wearing it. I don't know about longevity projection or anything. I have heard that this lasts a super long time, but I can't really attest to that yet just because I feel like I don't have that experience yet. But I did thoroughly enjoy wearing this, and I think this would be great on hot days, especially if you're out and there's going to be a breeze. But I also think that cold days this is going to work because although it's an airy fragrance, I feel like it's enough that it will still cut through layers. It's beautiful. I really enjoy this. I'm glad to finally have it. So again, that is Mancera Amber Fever. Since we did that Mancera, I might as well get into the two Menthol fragrances I picked up. And I have not picked up a Menthol fragrance in probably well over a year, but one of these has been on my wish list forever, and the other one has probably been on my wish list for a few months. So I went ahead and just put it in a bag, y'all. So this first one is Menthol Chocolate Greedy. And this is the one that I feel like as a fragrance lover, I'm surprised I didn't pick this up years ago because it's been on my wish list that long. But I don't know why I just never got around to purchasing it. So I purchased it. And I have worn this already at least twice. I actually wore this to bed last night. I've never worn it out and about. So I will say the 2 times I've worn it have been like at my house or going to bed because it is a quite sweet chocolate scent. This is really good, y'all. I really love the way this smells. So the chocolate in this, let me put this down because that rattling will annoy me. The chocolate in this smells very luxe. I know Menthol gets a bad rap for smelling synthetic, but I don't feel like this fragrance smells synthetic. This fragrance, the chocolate in this smells very pure, and I'm thinking Menthol, Mancera, they do a good job at chocolate, because I also have Choco Violet from Mancera, and I love that one. And if you have Choco Violet, I don't know that you necessarily need Chocolate Greedy too, because I do feel like the chocolates are very similar, but this one doesn't have that violet note that Choco Violet has. But anyway, this chocolate is beautiful, very well done, very smooth. It does have a little bit of, I feel like a little bit of booziness to it. It's not a boozy scent, but it smells like there could be some sort of liqueur in this. And for some reason, I also feel like it has a vanillic touch to it. Now, when I think about chocolate and vanilla, I think about opposites, right? But in reality, to me, chocolate and vanilla can smell quite similar. And I feel like this is that chocolate that has enough of that vanillic touch that it's going to be very likable. And I know this is an old fragrance. Nobody talks about this anymore, but I think it smells absolutely delicious, well made, sophisticated, and not overly sweet or overly synthetic. I love it. Love it. So again, that is Menthol Chocolate Greedy. The other Menthol scent that I picked up is Arabian's Tonka. And this one was probably first introduced to me from Paulina Shar. I remember her talking about this probably a year ago. And at that point, it went on my wish list of something I want to smell, but never got around to it. So I finally picked it up. And this is one of the fragrances in this haul that I haven't worn yet. So I have limited information on this, but when I smell this on paper, it gives me the ambery, airy sweetness that is present in like Baccarat or Amber Fever or Instant Crush, that kind of sweetness, but definitely some depth, some woodiness. This actually reminds me of Instant Crush, but it doesn't smell as like spicy woody. This one, I don't know, I feel like it smells more sweet. I have to wear this on the skin to see what I think about it. I don't know if this is going to be redundant in my collection, because I do have Instant Crush and I do feel like they smell kind of similar. So I'll have to update y'all. But so far, I do like it. Y'all know I love Instant Crush, so I'm not saying I don't like the scent. I just don't know that Arabian's Tonka is different enough. But again, I have not worn this on the skin, so let's take this information with a grain of salt. If I say I love it 2 weeks from now, I'm not lying. I'm just saying that I haven't worn this yet. So as of first smell, first impressions, I don't know how I feel about it. I like the smell of it. I just don't know that it's a love for me. So again, that is Menthol Arabian's Tonka. The next fragrance I have is from Goldfield and Banks, and this is Silky Woods. So again, this one has been on my wish list for a while, probably since it came out, and I finally got it. I was a little bit hesitant about buying it, to be completely honest with you all, because I'm not really sure how I feel about this brand. I've only tried one other fragrance from them and I liked it, but it didn't wow me. So that really made me hesitant to pick this up, even though I was planning, I think I put this on my wish list last year, and I was planning to pick it up this fall, winter when it got colder. But I have to say I was hesitant because the other fragrance from the brand didn't really work out for me. But so far, so good on this one. I have worn this one twice as well. And to me, this is kind of a leathery, or more like suede. So smooth, suede vanilla scent. Definitely kind of dark and deep. The vanilla in this to me does not smell that sweet. It's more of like a sultry, vanilla, woody, suede type scent. I definitely think this is unisex. I was honestly expecting more vanilla out of this fragrance, but I will say that when I have worn this fragrance, when it warms up on the skin, to me the vanilla does come out more. But this is probably not a very safe blind buy, because if you're expecting like just a sweet vanilla, that's not what this is. This is very like woody, suede, but still really good. I am thoroughly enjoying this. It lasts a long time on my skin as well. I've worn this only during the day. I've never worn it out at night, but I definitely think this could be a nighttime scent, because it has this like mysteriousness to it that I think would work well for a date night or any type of nighttime occasion. So again, that is Goldfield and Banks Silky Woods. This next fragrance is from Vicanto or Quincecanto, and this is Mirabelle. I feel like I cannot say the name of this without thinking about Encanto the movie, like Mirabelle. Obviously, I have young kids. I have seen that movie so much. I love that movie. I love the soundtrack. But anyway, the fragrance. It's good. I really like this. I actually wore this to work yesterday, and I find this to be quite interesting. It is a vanilla scent, but it has like this greenness to it. It has this kind of citrusy feel to it, and it also has a bit of a minty flair to it. So I find that when I have worn this fragrance, it changes on me throughout the day, and I actually really enjoy it. It does last a long time. I can tell you that because I wore this to work yesterday and I could still smell it on myself when I got home. But I don't think it's like a really heavy scent. So I don't think it would be offensive. And I really enjoy wearing this so far. I think when I first smelled this, I actually opened this one on a vlog when I first got it. And I was kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about it. But once I actually wore this, I fell in love with it. And I think that it's a different type of vanilla to add to the 100 other vanillas that I have in my collection. But it's really good. And the mintiness in this, I don't always gravitate towards fragrances with mint because I feel like sometimes it can smell masculine. But in this one, the mintiness is kind of combined with that vanillic sweetness, and it just works. I did see somebody on Fragrantica say that it smells like junior mints, and I can kind of get that, although I don't really get a chocolate vibe out of this fragrance, but I kind of get what they're saying. It has that kind of sweet candy-like mintness, but it's not too much. I really enjoy this. Quite interesting, not a safe blind buy, but I'm enjoying it. So again, that is Quinceacanto Mirabelle. This next fragrance has been on my wish list since last year as well when it came out, and I finally just pulled the trigger and blind bought it. So this is Armani C Intense. This is the 2021 version, and y'all know I blind buy all kinds of stuff, right? But this is one that I didn't really want to blind buy because I have the original C. I've heard they're similar, and I just felt like it was going to be redundant. Y'all know I'm not super into designer flankers because I always feel like they're kind of a waste of my money. So even though this is not the most expensive fragrance, it was one that I was just like, I need to smell that first. But for some odd reason, no stores in my area sell this. Like, I mean, they sell it online, but not for me to go in and smell. I was hoping I would just come across it one day and I could smell it in the store. Didn't happen. Found it for a decent price. And because I was ordering other stuff, I just went ahead and ordered this as well. But I have to say, I love it. It does smell like the original C, which I still love the original C. I still own that one. It does smell like that, but this one is definitely more like sweet and sultry. I feel like there's almost a wine type note in this, and I think that's from the black currant, but it takes on this kind of boozy nature to it. I've only worn this once, but I do find this to be a little bit more interesting than the original C, and I'm probably gonna keep both because I feel like C is a classic and I want to keep the original, but I am happy to have this one, and I will be wearing this because I think this is more of the grown-up, big sister, sexier, sultrier version of Armani C. And I can imagine that people would probably love this on me. The only time I've worn this has just been at my house to bed. So I can't really speak on whether people will love it on me, but I feel like this is the type of scent that will appeal to most people without being boring. I really enjoying this, y'all. So again, that is Armani C Intense. Next up, I have this fragrance from Sardi, and I'll tell y'all the name in a second because it's extremely long and I have no idea why this name has so many words in it, but it is Sardi Le Vie di Milano Limitless Shopping Via della Spiga. I have no idea what that means. I'm pretty sure that's Italian. We're just gonna call this Limitless Shopping, okay? I hate the name, but I love the fragrance inside. I've only worn it one time, but to me, this smells like a fruity, honeyed floral scent. The fruit that's in here, I feel like smell like apples, like green apples, like that kind of crisp green apple type scent mixed with a beautiful sweet honey, a non-animalic, non-offensive honey. And then you have some florals in the background. To me, it's a very bright, lively scent. Probably better suited for spring, summer, but I actually wore this the other day and it worked out well for what I was doing, and I'm happy to have this. The bottles, let's talk about them. I'm not sure how I feel about these bottles, honestly. I feel like the label here is already kind of coming up. The label feels like a leather sticker. I like the weight of the bottle. I like the look of like this part of the bottle, but I'm also not sold on these caps. Like they have these animal caps on all the fragrances from this line. And I mean, I can appreciate that it's unique, and I know some people love it. I'm just not sure how I feel about it, but I do really love the fragrance. So I'm happy to have this. I think I'll get a ton of wear out of this. It is, like I said, it's sweet and kind of sparkly. So I think of it as more of like a flirty, fun fragrance. But at the same time, I feel like it also has a bit of a sultry nature to it, and I really can't explain why. But to me, it does. Yeah, again, that is True Sardi, Limitless Shopping. This next fragrance, I probably had the longest, but I have not worn it at all yet. And that's just because I feel like I haven't had an occasion to wear it to yet. So this is Wilhelm Perfumery, the Oud Affair. So I picked this one up from Saks. I think they had sent me like a 20% off coupon. And y'all, the first bottle they sent me was open. Like somebody had used it. The cellophane was not on there. The cap, like when you smell it, you could tell that somebody had sprayed it before. So yeah, your girl sent that right back to Saks. And I had to repurchase it. But anyway, y'all don't care about that. So anyway, I've had this for a while, but I feel like with a name like the Oud Affair and the way this smells, I want to wear this more on like a special occasion or a night out when it's cold. And I haven't really had that yet. So it smells really good. So this one to me, it smells like tobacco, a spicy tobacco scent, a little bit of sweetness, like there's probably vanilla or tonka, but I wouldn't call this a vanilla scent. It's more so like a spicy, woody tobacco scent. I have heard people compare this, well not heard, I think I saw it on Fragrantica that some people said this was like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. And I can get that, but I think they're different enough to have both. Haven't worn it, so I don't really know how it wears on the skin or anything, but I love the way it smells. And I'm thinking I might possibly wear it this weekend because I'm going to a wedding where the dress code is formal and it's gonna be cold. So I might possibly wear it this weekend. But when I smell this, I feel like I need to be a little bit dressed up to wear it. I don't feel like it's that casual, but I do love it. So again, that is the Oud Affair from Wilhelm Perfumery. So those are all the full bottles. I do have a couple other things to share with y'all. So next up we have a Vanilla Musk from Nimat. This is an oil that has been recommended to me from so many of you all. And I picked this up from Ulta. I think it was on sale for Black Friday. I think it was on sale for like $15 or $19. I'm not really sure, but it smells really good. It smells like a straight vanilla scent. And the fact that it's an oil, you can mix this with your lotions or use it for layering or wear it alone. I've only worn this one time and it was alone. I think I wore it to Pilates and it was really nice because it's like a sweeter vanilla, but not juvenile, but think more leaning towards the cupcakey vanilla, but not all the way there. I have heard that this was similar to Tihota by Endo, but I've never smelled that scent. But I will say that I have an oil from Fragrant Body Oils that is inspired by Tihota, and I do think they smell similar. So for me, I don't know if after I run through this bottle, I'm not sure if this will be a repurchase because I have that other one and I think they smell quite similar. And yeah, so it's good. I do enjoy it. I think it's going to work out well for layering. I do wish that it had a like better dropper because it's just like a hole there. I feel like I'll easily spill it, which is good if you want to mix it with lotions, but if you're just going to be like applying it on yourself, I don't really love that. I kind of wish that if they would have kept this kind of like opening and then put a dropper in this, I think that would have been better packaging. But I mean, I can't complain too much. It's good for what it is. So yeah, that is Vanilla Musk from Nimat. I also have one decant from Max Aroma, and this is Milano Fragrance Panettone. I think that's how you pronounce it. But this smells like a fruit bread, like what you would have at Christmas, like a fruit cake. So it smells sweet and kind of doughy and like dried fruits and rum. Yeah, it smells delicious. I don't even like fruit cake, but if you have had that type of fruit cake, then this smells like that to me. I'm pretty sure that panettone is some sort of Italian bread dessert, so I get that. I have to say, I love this. It smells so delicious. I have not worn it yet, probably because it's in a decant. And I am not good about wearing decants, y'all, but I have been stalking Max Aroma to see if this comes back in stock in the full bottle, and it has not yet, but I can tell you, a full bottle is in my future. This smells delicious. Delicious without smelling too juvenile or anything like that. I think that boozy nature to it just, it does something for me, y'all. I love it. It smells like Christmas. So again, that is Panetto from Milano Fragrance. And then lastly, I have this box that just came in the mail a couple days ago. I hadn't opened it yet, so I figured I might as well do it on camera. But this package is from Huda Beauty or Kayali, and I purchased two things. This first one is the Vanilla 28 lotion or hand cream. They now have it in 2 sizes. So this is the larger size. It's 3 ounce or 2.99 ounces. I think the other one is 1 ounce. But I've been wanting to try this. I was hoping that it would eventually come to Sephora, but I don't think it ever did. So recently I saw that something else came back in stock that I really wanted to purchase from them. So I went ahead and added this to the bag as well. And if I can get it open, we'll smell it. All right, so there's what it looks like. And I'm sure y'all have heard of Vanilla 28 or smelled it by now. It's their most famous scent. I love it. It's a beautiful brown sugar vanilla sweet scent. So I bought this hand cream because I wanted to use it to layer it with some of my sweeter vanilla scents, or, you know, with things that'll layer well with. I'm not necessarily going to use this as a hand cream. What I'll probably do is use this just for layering with fragrances, and I'll just put it like on my arms or exposed areas of my body. But I doubt that I'll use this as an actual hand cream because it smells good like Vanilla 28, but I don't feel like it's as fragrant as I was hoping. Yeah, I don't know. This might be the first fail of the video. I don't know. And maybe I've smelled too many things, but as of right now, this is not as potent as I was hoping, but I do get that brown sugar vanilla smell. I was just hoping it was going to be more potent, but it smells good. It does smell good. Was it necessary? Probably not, but I was making the order anyway. I got 20% off because I ordered it through Instagram and they gave me one of those 20% off coupons. So it is what it is. I'll use it. I just wish it was more potent, but it does smell good. So there's that. And then the reason I made this order is for this. So this is the fragrance travel case from Kayali. And I should have gotten this last year when it initially came out, but then they kind of sold out and never brought it back until recently. So when you open it up, it has these separators in here that are very padded. So if you like to travel with full bottles of fragrance, putting them in something like this will help to protect them, and they'll be able to stand up completely. Now, previously, my last trip, when I went to Mexico for my birthday, I did take some full bottles of fragrance with me. And what I did was I just put them in some thick socks and then put them in their own little cosmetic bag, which worked. But I really would have liked something like this. I mean, of course, this is kind of big, but if you are carrying full-size fragrance bottles with you, you want them to be protected in your luggage. I'm not saying you need to be traveling with full bottles, but I do. So I think this will work out well for me. It feels quite padded, and I feel like it's big but not huge. So this is nowhere near like the size of my Louis Vuitton, what is it called? Nice BB. Yeah, that's the one I have. This is not the size of that. This is probably the height of that, but not as wide, so it won't take up as much space. And yeah, I think this is gonna work out well. Now, I won't be taking this on every trip because honestly, I don't need this much space for every trip, but on trips where I will be taking quite a few bottles with me, I think this will really work out. Let me see how many will fit in here just because we're here. All right, so I was able to fit 6 bottles in here, y'all. Now, 2 of those are the Montblanc bottles, which I feel like are very small, but I also put the big Mancera bottle in here, the big Maison Crivelli bottle in here, and they do all fit. So yeah, I'm excited to finally have this, and maybe one day I'll travel somewhere and actually get to use it. But for now, it'll go in my closet. So those are all the fragrances that I've picked up recently. If you've tried any of the fragrances that I mentioned, let us know what you think of them down below. I can't wait to actually really play with these now that I've shared them with you and just see how I use them on a day-to-day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I upload videos 3 times a week, and for the month of December, it's actually 4 times a week. So definitely check out my content. I have tons of videos that you can watch in your free time. If you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and follow me over there as well. I always like to chit chat with you guys in my stories and my DMs, and a lot of times I also share my scent of the day over there in my Instagram stories. I hope you all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.